Mothers are characterized basically by the virtues of selflessness and sacrifice. If you ask me, at the plane of humanity, the purest level of soulish interaction you can find is the soulish disposition of a mother, particularly towards her child. I believe if God were not to give us new birth, if God were to modify the old creation, the purest form of souls you would have found would have been the souls of mothers. And so we want to appreciate them for who they are and for what they represent. And tonight we are blessed because we have learned from scriptures the possibility of functioning as a supernatural woman and mother so that you can raise supernatural offsprings. It's important for you to know that a lot depends on you in a bastardized society like the one we have. I've taught you here that there are two major institutions that Satan fights with all his arsenals. The first is the family institution, and the second is the church. And the reason is because these two institutions, amongst other things, are the institutions responsible for determining the purity and the conscience of society. If these two institutions are destroyed, government will fail. Every other institution will fail. And so because the devil is a strategic fighter, he directs his arsenals to these two institutions with an attempt to destroy it and then to destroy society. It happens to be that in the family institution, the mother plays a very significant role, and every one of us here who is a woman must pay attention. You must develop and build yourself so that you can build the family institution. Because to a very large extent, a lot depends on you. I don't have time to teach you tonight. The Lord has spoken to us. But I want you to know that there is a ministry that every mother has. And everyone who is hoping to become a mother must pay attention to that ministry. You know, the fivefold ministry is for some, according to Ephesians 4:11. But there are ministries that are specific for mothers. Others can walk in it, but every mother must walk in it or walk in them. The first is the prophetic ministry. Every mother who will be an accurate mother must be prophetic in nature. Because the destiny of your children require prophetic intelligence to be guided. If you read your Bible, you find that most children, before they were born, their mothers had encounters. And they were able to peep into the scrolls of the Spirit to itemize the destinies of those children. The prophetic ministry of mothers is not an office per se. It's actually a height in the spirit that they get into because of their intercessory enterprise. And so anybody who is preparing to be a mother must journey in priesthood to a point where she can discern from the spirit realm. Otherwise, she will raise useless children. And so motherhood is a very spiritual responsibility. The mother of Samson had encounters. Elizabeth had encounters. Mary had encounters. And so if you are here and you are not yet familiar with the spirit realm, you are not yet ready to be a mother. And so Mother's Day is a call for the activation of the prophetic dimension that is in your spirit. And that prophetic dimension can be born through prayers. We read from Luke chapter 2 verse 36 to 38, a woman called Anna. There was no record that she was prophetic. But when she gave herself to prayer, the portals opened. So any mother who will pray will discern. And if she discerns, then her family has a future. The second ministry of mothers is the ministry of leadership. And leadership in this context speaks of wisdom. The wisdom to build. As a young lady, you can derive so much pleasure in your beauty. But when you are becoming a mother, wisdom is a factor you cannot do without. Any woman who is not wise will not just destroy her home, but to become part of the problem of society. In 2 Samuel chapter 20, verse 16 to 22, the Bible told us about a woman that demonstrated leadership that delivered the whole nation. Joab, the king of David's army, went to a city to destroy it because a man in that city had risen against the king. And when the army came to destroy the city, a woman cried out and said, "Hear me, hear me." And she summoned the attention of a military general. And when Joab came to her, she said, "It is captured in prophecy that they will get counsel from Abel. So listen." And Joab said, "I listen." And she said, "You can't destroy God's inheritance. The land is the heritage of God. No matter what happened, you can't march an army here to annihilate us. It will be against the counsel of God. Who is he that you are looking for?" And Joab called the name of the son of Bichri. And the woman told her, "Go back with your soldiers. By tomorrow, we will throw the head of the man you are looking for. Go home." And Joab went back, and the whole nation was delivered. No man could stand. But a woman of wisdom stepped out and saved a whole territory. Most of the attacks that will come to the home front, it will not be power that will solve it. It will be wisdom. Either the wisdom you inject into your husband or the wisdom structure you put in place. Wise women must rise. So Mother's Day is a call for wisdom. The third ministry of mothers is the ministry of worship. A mother must learn to teach the family the way of worship. Anything that happens at home, lead the Thanksgiving procession. You must be the one who is prompt to say, "Let's give God thanks. Let's glorify God." I'm not saying you take the position of the priest. If you study Israel, Moses was the leader. Aaron was the priest. But when they crossed the Red Sea, in Exodus 15, verse 20 to 21, it was Miriam that led Israel to give thanks. So every mother must master the art of gratitude. The least thing that God does in the family, lead the family to give God thanks. And you will see how God will multiply his blessings upon the house. The fourth ministry of mothers is the ministry of intercession. Every mother must be a prayer warrior. If you don't pray, the white beast we find a pathway into the family. Every mother. 1 Samuel 1 verse 9 to 28. We saw that when the man did not have a child, he said, "Instead of burdening myself, let me get another wife and produce children." But you see, the other wives can't raise prophets. So it's not about children, it's about prophet. Israel needed the prophet. You know, men look for solution. And some of you don't have spiritual men that will seek God. So when there is problem, this job is not working, it takes another job. No, it's not job. There's an attack on the ordination of that bloodline. The man got another wife, got children. But Hannah won't rest. It was her intercession that activated the priesthood of Eli, because Eli was blind. Even the priest in the land had no eyes. The Bible said in those days there was no open vision. The voice of God was scarce. And so there was no help from the priesthood. But a woman began to intercede. Her intercession activated Eli. And Eli said, "Go, you have a child." For the first time, the voice of the priest was heard. And when Samuel was born, the priesthood didn't end until a prophet rose in Israel. We need praying women. We have seen too much mascara, foundation. We have seen gold, diamond. Where are the warriors in the spirit? The women of Shiloh that will not sleep until a prophet is born. Where are those women? We are a generation of Instagram. Fingernails are longer than fork. They can't wash clothes and plate anymore because the finger is too long. I'm not against finger, I'm not against mascara, but where are the women that can cry? The Bible said Rachel was weeping for her children. When children are held in bondage, it's women that cry and say, restore, 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 restore. Where are the Rachels? I heard a voice in Ramah. Rachel was weeping for her children. We have wayward children on the street. Where are Rachel? Today, people are on drugs. Yahoo, Yahoo everywhere. But we can't find Rachel. Where is the womb of Rachel that will cry and release lamentation over a generation? Children are lost. Lost to gambling. Lost to violence. Lost to manipulation and gimmicks. And we can't find women that cry. In Matthew chapter 2 verse 18 it says, I heard a cry in Ramah. It was not men that were crying. It was Rachel. Rachel was weeping. We need women that can ransom a generation. Our sons can't be given to alcoholism. Our sons cannot become bandits. Our sons with potentials cannot become Yahoo Yahoo people. The soul of a generation must be restored, but the cry of Rachel must be heard. I came to acknowledge and to appreciate you for who you are, but I also came to cast a burden that you are not just bearing a title, you are sitting in an office. Motherhood is an office. The hope of a generation is resident with mothers, and we need wailing men, wailing women. Please sit down. The fifth ministry of mothers is teaching and discipleship. I'm sure you saw that already. Titus 2 verse 3 to 5. Say, let the older women teach the younger ones. Our sisters need to be taught, and that's why the ministry of mothers must be restored. We have women today who are ladies and are not transiting to wives and mothers because there's a gap. No matter how a father loves the daughter, he doesn't have the utensils to make her become a wife or a mother. That's the ministry of the older women. Even to love their husbands, they have to be taught, because love is not just a feeling. There are depths to love. When you become a wife, love is submission. Your father can't teach you that. It's your mother that will give you the skill and tell you, listen, there's a way you answer your husband when he's angry. There's a way you talk to your husband when you need him to do something. There's a way you guide your husband. I don't have those skills because I'm not a mother. And if mothers don't rise, divorce will keep increasing. Because your power is not muscles. Your power is wisdom. And that wisdom has to be transferred. Otherwise, you marry your husband and you want to do muscles. After a while, you discover that's not your strength. Because when you finish fighting, you will go home. Your husband, in the night, when your husband is sleeping, you will be crying. And the home will be wrecked. And the reason is because mothers are failing. They are not teaching the younger women how to talk to their husbands, how to talk to their children and raise prophets. So we need the teaching ministry of mothers. Teach the younger women. They need to know what it means to be a woman. Those days when we were growing up, the moment you are approaching puberty, when you sit down, they say close your legs. When you start maturing, They tell you, don't wear transparent things. Your body is sacred.